What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about one of the coolest Pokemon. I used to probably my favorite Pokemon when I was a kid. Not anymore. I mean, I love a lot more Pokemon, a lot more than Hydreigon, but I still got a soft spot for him. I do still like him a lot. And Zweilous is also super cool. And Zweilous also functions as his own Pokemon that you can keep optionally. And yes, you are reading that correctly. He does optionally evolve into Iron Jugulus now, who will have his own video. I just realized I'm recording this in the wrong order. I'm recording. No, I'm doing the right order. Forget I said anything. I'm bulk recording. So if you're a new viewer, I appreciate you clicking on this video. Shout out to you. I really do appreciate you. Hopefully you stick around. If you are new, I would recommend pausing the video and reading the description to give you a good background for how this ROM hack is balanced. It'll answer a lot of your basic questions that you might have by looking at this. With all that being said, though, Hydreigon. So I know somebody's going to comment, why would you take its bulk away? You made it worse. It doesn't need to be a mixed attacker. My answer, I think it's cooler. I think it makes more sense, and I think it's cooler. I think he should be a full mixed attacker, and I think him not being as tanky as he was is kind of weird anyways. My man's like beat up, dude. Like my man is like missing limbs and like he's all tattered and shit. Like I don't see why he's so tanky. And it's not like 92, 75, 75 is bad. It's not. It's still relatively tanky, especially in an in-game context where if you want defensive, you'll run defensive. You know, you'll run full EVs in bulk. And another huge thing is Intimidate. Intimidate makes them significantly bulkier on the physical side. So the defense drop is negligible because even if they had like base 65, they're still tankier on the physical side, I believe, because of Intimidate. Not to mention you can Intimidate Cycle versus AI. It's very, very strong. You've also got Parting Shot, all that good shit. As for Spadaf, though, yes, Spadaf is a bit worse overall. But I don't know, man. Who cares? I think physical Hydreigon is way fucking cooler, personally. I also think it sets it apart from Jugulus, who is purely a special attacker. So let me go to... Where the fuck is Jugulus here? Let me go Hydreigon. Okay, so... yeah, I mean, if you read the decks, like, it's not... this thing doesn't make any sense. Like, I know in Vanilla it is still technically a mixed attacker. Like, 105, 125 is mixed, but people are still gonna very rarely use it physical, although I think they might use it more now that it has like Dragon Dance and shit, but I don't know. I think this purely mixed Hydreigon is way cooler, and this is all up to, you know, what I like in my personal preferences, so I think it's coolest. Zweilous is super dope as well. It's got Brute Force and Berserk, and it has Intimidate of Violet, so it's tankier than Hydreigon as well. It is slower, but, you know, 68 base speed with a Scarf is still definitely a usable speed tier in an in-game context. I can quickly show you how fast Scarf Brute Force Zweilous is. So as you can see on screen, by the way, tons of new Sheer Force boosted moves. Very obvious fitting ability for Hydreigon is Sheer Force. I wanted to get the Brute Force, but like, man, like I know somebody might comment like, Mega Launcher, where's your Mega Launcher? Well, don't worry. If you scroll down a little bit and check out the Jugulus video, this is the Mega Launcher GOAT, and he actually makes more sense for it. Sheer Force on a mixed attacker makes a lot more sense. Not to mention, I mean, his whole, like, I actually really do think that I feel like if Hydreigon had more than one ability, because, you know, fucking Weezing gets more than one ability in Vanilla with Levitate. I don't see why Hydreigon can't. But anyway, like, Sheer Force is like like, that is what he is, man. That is his entire fucking, like, you know, Sheer Force, it's so fitting. Brute Force is also very fitting. I don't think Mega Launcher is nearly as fitting as Sheer Force is. And then Sheer Force, of course, boosts way more moves. Not that Mega Launcher doesn't boost a lot of moves, because it does. But yeah, I wanted to also set him apart from Jugulus. So yeah, he's also faster. So Scarf Hydra, you know, with Sheer Force gets tons of kills. And what's it called? You know, your base speed is much more usable. So I'll show both. So 68 is hitting... That seems wrong. I guess not. Really? That feels wrong, bro. Oh no, I didn't put the Scarf in. I'm stupid. That's why. Hardy, 20, +1. So yeah, you're hitting 336, which is very solid, man. That's outspeeding 100. I know that much. Outspeeding 105? No. So you're outspeeding this 102 or 103 speed Pokemon with your Zweilous, unless you get plus speed, then you're going crazy. If you're getting plus speed, hell yeah, man, go Berserk. Pun not intended. But yeah, Berserk is super dope as well on a bulky, you know, Violet type Pokemon like Zweilous. You can run Berserk plus Molt, so Molt is a reliable recovery move. It's bug type recover. It also works on like lizard Pokemon and stuff and dragons and stuff, you know. So Molt is cool there. Of course, Hydreigon also has Roost, but that doesn't make any sense for Zweilous to learn. Although I think I gave it to him in Sweltering just because I wanted him to abuse Berserk more. And he does technically have wings. I mean, Zweilous does have 2 wings. He just can't fly. It's weird that these are considered wings, but they are. They are wings technically. Anyway. Yeah, Hydreigon's got super dope moves, man. Super strong coverage. So in terms of sheer force boosted options versus your regular options, like you can see you've got like your strong Fickle Beam, Night Daze, Wicked Blow, crit moves, you know, and your Draco Meteor, Twilight Cannon. None of that crap is sheer force boosted, which also incentivizes using Intimidate and Levitate more. For example, like Intimidate, Eject Pack, Draco slash Twilight Cannon slash Dragon Ascent is super cool. Because you get the intimidate, then you know, I mean, it's still pretty good because then you can intimidate to switch in better, you know, to take a hit better, and then you kill whatever's in front. I mean, this thing is so versatile. You can use it purely defensively with like parting shot, intimidate, roost, taunt. You know, you got all these good utility options that you can take advantage of. Even glare drops attack and special attack and paralyzes now, so that's super cool with Move Relearner. And the beautiful thing with Move Relearner is that you can just switch your sets whenever you need to, right? So you can run like a bulky intimidate, I don't know, acid reflux wireless. You know, my man is gonna poison you, and then also drop your speed by -2, so that's super good. You can also use that into a combo with like priority night burst or twister. You've got good coverage even early on. I mean, Dino is super strong and also relatively fast for the early game, and it's got some good bulk. It's got intimidate. Berserk and brute force are super fitting as well. I wish I could keep them on Hydra, but because he's wasting a slot on levitate, is just not wasting a slot, but he's using up one of his slots, you know, on levitate. It's like Berserk is special attacking, Brute Force is physical attacking, right? Combine them into Sheer Force. Sheer Force is much easier to use. The boost is lower. Brute Force is a 50%, Berserk is 50% for one boost, and then you get even higher. You can rack up, you know, basically up to +6 in theory if you like are Molt spamming or something in front of something, and then you go Night Burst Twister spam with your priority. That's pretty good. Very good even. You could totally take advantage of that. But overall, yeah, Sheer Force is a much easier ability to use, and it makes the most sense for Hydreigon to me. So that's why I chose it. It's got tons of great coverage. Jugulis also has crazy coverage, and Jugulis is faster and technically bulkier, but not actually bulkier because of Intimidate. So it's not actually bulkier, but especially it is bulkier. And of course, it's strong. It can run its boosting ability and be bulkier than Hydra, while Hydra has to swap to Intimidate. But not that that's a big deal. It's good. Terra would also be really fun. Obviously, any Terra type is good because this guy gets tons and tons of coverage moves. And even if you get like Terra Fairy or some shit, you can always pull Terra Blast or something. And of course, you keep your original stab and you get your defensive utility out of the Terra type. But regardless of what it is, it's always a really fun thing to abuse versus AI. Other cool shit like Arcane Fangs, Brute Force, like you can totally do like a full bulk Xyla set with Arcane Fangs, Brute Force of Eyelight and just spam Arcane Fangs and keep healing. That's essentially Dragon type Drain Punch, 85 power, so that's super strong. You can just click that a bunch, you know, that's pretty brainless with Brute Force and healing yourself over and over again. Battle Cry is pretty early on with Intimidate, level 28 Battle Cry. I wanted to encourage more, you know, defensive wireless use. I mean, this guy even like Battle Cry Berserk. I mean, there's so many ways you can build him and swap your abilities and moves around, which is always really fun. He's definitely a lot more versatile than Jugulis, but Jugulis is obviously still incredible. And I mean, he's so fucking. I can't wait to get to that. They're so cool. I love the changes I did for Jugulis. Because he's such a fucking loser normally, but he's so cool now. Anyway, Fickle Beam, as you can read, that's not balanced around the player trying to get that 30%. If you watch the Hydrapple video, you'll know what I mean. So I'm going to not repeat myself as much, and I'll just... I mean, you can understand, right? It's basically balanced for the AI to get the boost from Fickle Beam, but you're not actually getting it. You should never play as if you're getting it. So that's basically just another Wicked Blow type variant for the players' intents and purposes. Head Smash is obviously very strong. It's not Sheer Force boosted, but it's still 140 power. Neither is Stone Edge either. So your strongest Rock Sheer Force move is Rock Slide, which is 95 times 1.3. I can't do it off the top of my head right now. Brain rot, man. 123, 124. So yeah, that's just stronger than Stone Edge. But of course, with Stone Edge, you can run Levitate or Intimidate. So yeah, and again, just having all this coverage is great in a Move Relearner game because you can switch to your coverage moves whenever you need them, and just hit everything super strong. So that's really fun. Belch is super dope. I would love to abuse like some Belch berry, Pitaya berry crap, or not Pitaya, Salac berry stuff. I think that's really fun. Berserk Belch is also super cool on Xylis, like Berserk, Pitaya berry, Berserk, Salac berry, Belch, Xylis, like that goes hard, man, because you get a +1 special attack boost with Belch each time now. That's buffed, so 100 power, 100 accuracy, +1 special attack. I already covered how fast they are at +1, right? As for Hydreigon, by the way, you're hitting 304 with a neutral nature, so it's not too impressive on its own. Versus AI, you're only outspeeding, you're not even outspeeding base 90. So you are going to be wanting Scarf a lot more. But of course, Hydreigon has that great defensive utility, and not to mention the Dark Steel typing of Jugulus versus the Dark Dragon of Hydreigon provides its own unique resistances over one another. For example, you resist electric, you resist, actually, yes, you resist water. What else do you resist that Dark Steel doesn't resist? Good amount of stuff. Grass, no, grass also is still resisted. Fire, that's a big one. Fire, you resist fire, grass, fire, electric, water, all that stuff that that Jugulus does not resist. So that's all really good. And of course with Intimidate it's even better. And of course with Parting Shot and all the other good defensive utility stuff that you can take advantage of. Late game you've also got like Draconic Voice. You've got DD and shit, which obviously DD is very, very strong on this guy with all the coverage and the sheer force stuff. What else is there? I don't know, I mean, pretty simple stuff. This mon, for some fucking godforsaken reason, doesn't get Temper Flare in vanilla. That pisses me off. I don't know, bro. There's so many Temper Flare mons that, like, they should have given it to that they just didn't. It's so ridiculous, but yeah, Temper Flare obviously is here now. It's the same thing as Stone Edge. It's also not Shift Force boosted, but it's 120 physical, reliable. Meanwhile, your other strongest physical fire move is either Heat Crash or Fire Fang, which are much weaker most of the time than, I mean, Fire Fang 75 power with Shift Force is pretty damn good. It's, God, I can't do that math either. 75 times 1.3. 98, 97 base power, 98 base power, so that's not bad or anything. It's gonna do the job most of the time if you're just hitting something super effectively, but obviously that extra power from Temper Flare is good. You've also got Raging Fury, but those moves, dude, I would never fucking touch those unless you really are positive that you can stay in safely for 3 turns in a row and not fucking die. At least in a Nuzlocke context, which again is what this game is balanced around, so I wouldn't really touch Outrage or Raging Fury, it's more for flavor. But if you know, for certain use cases, like for certain boss fights, especially because some of them are going to be purely monotype, you can probably safely play around staying in for 3 turns. But even then, it's not guaranteed 3 turns, so it's like if you get to 2 turns and you play it around 3, then it's kind of fucked. So I don't know, it's a weird move to play around in a Nuzlocke. I wouldn't bother with it. Fiery Wrath and Dragon's Fury are super strong, 130 power, but they require wide lens. They also always burn, and they're sheer force boosted. Same with Inferno. So all 3 of those are the same thing: 130, 85, or 130, 80 accuracy. And again, slap on a wide lens. If you're faster than something naturally, you can go crazy with those moves. That's super fun. I already covered Arcane Fangs and how that's really cool. A bunch of other stuff I'm not even mentioning because there's just too many. I mean, there's too many covers moves to list, but you can look at the list and see what's Shift Force boosted, what isn't. You know, even if they're not Shift Force boosted, there's still good coverage moves to have. Berserk, obviously, I already covered, is really good. You can even use it like in a very straightforward way, right? Like switch him in and outspeed or quick claw Berserk, whatever it is, you know. That's also really good, even outside of racking up multiple boosts with heal moves. You can just straight up kill things like that way. Intimidate Doom Desire is also really good. That's a dark type, future sight, 150 power. That's really strong because you get to intimidate into Parting Shot, and then you can debuff as well as deal damage at the same time. So that's really fun. And you can also, you know, play around the AI, like using certain moves. Try attack even if sheer force boosted and it breaks sashes. If you pulled like Terra Normal, that would go fucking crazy. Yeah, Throat Spray is obviously very good on this guy with Draconic Voice at level 60. Yeah, I think I've covered almost everything I really need to talk about. Dragon Hammer, Brutal Swing, Draconic Beam are all recoil moves that are sheer force boosted, so those go to 1. Can't do math. 120 times 1.3. 156 base power, so those are very strong. They're even stronger than Draco Meteor, Twilight Cannon, etc. Of course, they deal a little bit of recoil, but recoil is pretty easy to mitigate in game, so overall not a huge deal. Sucker Punch Brute Force is super strong. Sucker Punch, again, for those of you who don't know, Japanese name is Surprise Attack. It has nothing to do with punching. So I think Wireless fits it fine. I think it's cool, you know, give him that little strong physical Brute Force priority move, you know, slap a Choice Band on that boy and you got some crazy shit. Of course, you know, that's requiring you to play around the AI, you know, not using attacking moves, whatever it is, but still very cool on paper. Tailwind I have on Zweilous allowed purely because I can see him whipping up the wind with his 2 little baby wings. So I think it's fine, and I think it's cool. Like Tailwind Zweilous with Berserk or something could be super dope because you get the special attack boost if they knock you into range, and then you're +2 speed from the Tailwind for a couple turns. So I think that's really fun. Yeah, again, early and mid game, Zweilous is great even if you choose not to keep it, which I don't think most people would. As much as I love Zweilous, I don't even know if I would because I just want to use Jugulus so bad. And of course I fucking love Hydreigon too, but I really do like Zweilous. But even up to level 45, you're using my man for a long time, you know. So you get your good usage out of Zweilous. You know, that's the first over the first half of the game. So that'll be fun. Yeah, thanks for listening. Let me know if you made it to the end. There's a couple other small things I could cover, like, you know, shift force. I mean, again, you can look at the screen and just see what is shift force boosted and what isn't. So, yeah, thank you for listening. Shout out to you if you made it all the way to the end, and I'll be back for more. Make sure you watch the Jugulus video next. Peace.